Please, the show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
The following program contains mature content. Any opinions expressed are those solely of the host and any guests. Listener discretion strongly advised.
And Happy New Year, one and all. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. Wyce Thoughts is a virtual campfire sit-down where we gather yet again and discuss what's on my mind. And hey, do us a favor, if you're enjoying the program, won't you visit us over at our website at wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. There you can listen to more episodes of the podcast, check out the blog, and so much more. It's all waiting for you at wycethoughts.com. This time around on the program, some new revelations for the new year. And how you can try and keep your sanity going forward. It's all coming up on this episode of Wyce Thoughts. So grab your favorite beverage, get in a comfortable position as we gather yet again around the virtual campfire on this episode of Wyce Thoughts, coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome to Wyce Thoughts. I'm Terry Wyce, and I'm so glad you decided to spend some of your valuable time with me today. Remember, you can check out the website wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, please. W-Y-C-E, it's wycethoughts.com. Or you can check out the Wyce Thoughts podcast, as well as many others, all at purplepitstudios.com. That's purplepitstudios.com. And also, I've got a YouTube channel. Just look for Wyce Thoughts on YouTube. If you want to tweet at me on Twitter, it's at Terry Wyce on Twitter. And the Facebook page is facebook.com/Wyce Thoughts. All right. There we go. Let's go. Let's get into it, Mr. Producer Extraordinaire, shall we? Yeah. Happy New Year first. Let me start with that. Happy New Year, one and all. Welcome to the new year, and I hope your New Year's celebration was great. A lot happened here over the holidays. I'm going to start off with, I'm up in the Northeast, and we had a hell of a blizzard on Christmas of all days, day before Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve, and it let up on a little bit on Christmas Day. Unfortunately, to be the bearer of some sad news, over 40 people lost their lives in my area of the country from the blizzard. People that got stranded in vehicles, people that lost power in their homes and had some issues at homes, and events where emergency personnel just couldn't get to people that were suffering some type of medical emergency, and they couldn't get out, and emergency personnel could not get in. And that was bad. It really was. So, that was unfortunate. And then around that time, by the time that came, there was a big warm up, and so we had a little bit of flooding going on, and it just kind of threw the holidays asunder. As I think I've discussed on past programs with us here on Wyce Thoughts, me and Mrs. W, we always throw our yearly Christmas party and have anywhere from 40 to 50 people, relatives in our home. And it pushed that back to actually New Year's Eve just because of the terrible, terrible weather that we encountered. And but you know what? We made do. We were thankful. We came through it unscathed. Never lost power or any of the faculties during that. Thank goodness. Just a heap ton of snow. A heap ton of snow came down upon us, and we had to deal with that. But you know what? If one thing it taught me, and me and my wife were talking about this, is that, boy, don't you just sit back and really take stock on what really matters. Having your health, having a family, having shelter, having heat, electricity, what have you. It was really, really an eye-opener for us to just kind of, sometimes you need that in life, that reminder, that kick in the keister, of, hey, there's priorities, man, priorities. And we learned them, or shall we say, we reaffirmed them during that time. And then on New Year's Day, we got up on New Year's Day, had the day off from my other job, as it were, which was, I'm very fortunate to have that day off. And wife went to go make a cup of tea in the microwave because she likes doing it that way. I just do the Keurig, man. I do the hot water, put the thing in there. She can't wait, obviously, that long, the extra, 45 seconds for the Keurig to whip out some hot water for her tea or coffee. Anyway, she put it in the microwave and said, "Oh, this is cold." I said, "Well, maybe you got the power on one or something." Nope, the microwave took a shit on New Year's Day of all days. So I'm like, and we only had it like 7 years, but I guess that's the lifespan of a microwave now, is 5 to 7 years. I seem to recall a decade or two back that they would last 10 years or so, but evidently, as people say, they don't make them like they used to. So we went microwave shopping on New Year's Day because there were some stores open with, compacted hours, and we did some shopping on New Year's Day and made an afternoon of it, did some lunch and everything. So got a new microwave, got it home, got it all set up and all that stuff. And then, so that was the start of our new year, which was interesting to say the least. But anyway, how are you? Happy New Year again. And I hope all is well with you and yours and everyone's safe. Also, how about that unfortunate injury to that Buffalo Bills football player? Wow, huh? And for any of you that are football fans that were watching the Monday night game, wow, unbelievable what happened to him. It really is. And the Buffalo Bills player that was injured, Damar Hamlin, just a tragic injury with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter of the Bills-Bengals Monday night game. And I've been watching sports a lot of years, football, hockey, etc., and I've seen some injuries. I've seen some devastating injuries, and I've just never quite seen anything like it. Cardiac arrest. He was hit just the right way, I suppose. That from what I've heard and seen and information I've digested, he was hit just the right way, and his heart was at just the right go around or cycle that caused this unbelievable injury to him, and scary, scary stuff. And certainly our thoughts and prayers are with him, Damar Hamlin. At the latest update at the recording of this episode of the podcast, he is doing well. Vitals are improving, etc. He was still listed in critical condition, but vitals are improving and everything. And he does have a charity, which you can look for online. Just do a Google search, Damar Hamlin, and you'll find out all the information. He has a great charity for children, well over $7 million now, because people across the country coming together. And that's nice to see with the way the world can be, and especially the United States can be divisive. It was great to see people put aside any type of, differences and just come together for a great individual, from what I've seen on and read and heard. A real decent guy, and a great cause to help the children as well. But we're wishing him a speedy and full, complete recovery here from Wyce Thoughts to Damar Hamlin. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with him and his loved ones and family at this most difficult time. So, and that was kind of, again, going into getting that whole holiday thing going. Wow, into the new year and that. And just unbelievable, some of the things that have been going on already this year. I was hoping maybe the new year would start out better, but, I guess if this is what we got to deal with, this is what we got to deal with. And we just got to persevere and move on and move along. And as I talked about at the beginning on the teaser of Wyce Thoughts, new year, new challenges. And what are you doing? Did you make any New Year's resolutions? Do you have any? Do you believe in making New Year's resolutions? I myself am, I don't know, I'm on the fence about it. I really don't sit there and go, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I'm indecisive when it comes to New Year's resolutions. And here's why. I've tried some in the past and they haven't worked. I've tried some and they have worked, and I'm just kind of, like I said, on the fence about New Year's resolutions. How many gym memberships get started, in the first week of January, and by the end of January or February at the latest, they're done. No one's going, and the gym's just pocketing the cash and saying, thank you very much. That was kind of easy. A little way for them to make some more money. But if you do make New Year's resolutions out there, whether it be for your fitness or a mindset or save more money, take up a hobby, I'd be interested to know. I mean, put it in the comments at the Facebook page at wycethoughts.com, facebook.com/Wyce Thoughts, or you can tweet at me on Twitter at Terry Wyce, or you can, if you're listening at one of the many places that Wyce Thoughts is available for your listening enjoyment, on Spreaker.com, there's a section for comments, or at the Wyce Thoughts website. That's the easiest way, by going to wycethoughts.com. If you're listening to this episode through that, there's a spot right there for you to leave a comment in the comments section. I'd be curious to know, have you made any New Year's resolutions, or do you outright don't believe in them? Let me know what you think. Now, the other thing, too, with regarding to this whole New Year's thing, what are you going to do to keep yourself motivated this year? How are we going to, tackle this together? One of the things I would like to do is I would like to drop, I know, and I've said it, I've been squawking at you about this for over a year. Lose 20 pounds. I lose 5, I gain 3. I lose, another 3, I gain 2. I'm teeter-tottering between 220, that 215, 218, 221, 222. I'm just kind of all over the place there. And I will take full responsibility. It's all on me. The cupcakes aren't jumping into my mouth. The candy isn't jumping into my mouth. The poor eating habits. Exercising, I am exercising now because it's winter here in the Northeast. I'm indoors 99% of the time on the, we're doing the bike, the indoor bike and that. And, I can up that a little bit more. Absolutely. But I think what I feel my biggest challenge is, and I don't know if this is the same with you if you're trying to maybe drop a few pounds, eating after 8 o'clock at night, I found, is just my nemesis, man. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not eating the right things at the right time of day. I believe I probably have to maybe either get with a nutritionist, get a nutritionist recommended by my doctor, and just get with the right people to find out why am I doing this? Is it psychological? Is it emotional? Is it hormonal? Is it something that I'm doing or certain things I'm eating throughout the day that's triggering a hunger later at night? I'm almost feeling that a lot of it's psychological. It's all in my brain. That's what I'm thinking, that it's all in my noodle. Only time's going to tell. I am trying to drink more tea. I heard black tea is great for you as well as green tea. Now, for those of you who don't know what black tea is, because I've said black tea, because I drink a lot of green tea mostly. Black tea, folks, is the tea you find every day. The Lipton tea bags in your grocery store and everything. It says black tea. I never knew it was black tea. I just thought tea. I'm thinking tea, But that's what black tea is. But green tea is really good for you. Ginseng tea, chamomile is really good. Dandelion tea. So I'm going to expand my tea palette this year and try and branch out a little bit. I have had peach green tea. That's pretty good. And I don't like peaches. I've eaten maybe one peach in my life, and that was it. I was like, bleh. No more after that. No, thank you. So I'm going to try to expand my my tea palette this year. That's one of the things. I'm going to endeavor to get a hold on my eating, more control, be more mindful of what I eat. But I don't want to limit myself, though, too. I know you probably do, too. You know people out there that they just put down this strict diet. I am not eating any sugar at all. I am not doing this. And hey, man, if that works for you, great. That being said, however, I enjoy my sweets here and there and that, and I enjoy a soda here and there. I enjoy my alcohol, amongst other things, and I like a wide variety of foods. And I just, again, feel that maybe just adjusting and tweaking that a little bit, but definitely knocking off the eating after 8 p.m. at night, and throwing this in there, too, as far as health, trying to get better night's sleep. I've been averaging 7 hours is what I usually need. I know it's different for different folks. Some people got to have 8, 8.5. Some people can live on 6 or 5. But lately I have been below what I normally need, which is at least 7 hours of sleep to feel functional, to feel like I'm here, present, ready to roll, do what I got to do. And the past few weeks, just, I don't know if it was the holidays, all the stuff that was going on, I've been averaging 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6 hours, 45 minutes, 5 hours and a half, 5 hours, 45 minutes. And that can have, believe it or not, a detrimental effect on your weight loss goals. A good night's sleep is important from all the research I've read from various sources. So that's another thing to maybe take into account if you're trying to lose some weight and you're trying to do all the right things and that scale's not moving as quickly down as you would like. Take a look at your sleeping habits. And again, I'm not preaching to you. I'm just making conversation here. I am guilty as the next person, as reading in bed, on the iPad or looking up stuff, surfing the web and the internet. I'm an internet junkie per se. I like looking at this, videos of that, music of this, TV shows. So trying to get a handle on the nocturnal sleeping habits, as it were. So that's another thing that needs to be done. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to continue on with the New Year's edition of Wyce Thoughts, and talking about all so far that is 2023, and we're going to be right back right after this. You're listening to Wyce Thoughts.
You're listening to Wyce Thoughts, your virtual campfire sit-down. And now, a man who says he's never met a pizza he didn't like. Here's your host, Terry Wyce.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the program. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. I'm Terry Wyce, and yes, talking about weight loss and what I'm trying to do here in the new year in a little bit. That's true. I guess if I could say no to the pizzas once in a while, that would help, right? Oh, boy. Hey, remember to visit the website, wycethoughts.com. Just make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. If you want to tweet at me on Twitter, it's at Terry Wyce. Check out the YouTube channel. Just look for Wyce Thoughts on YouTube. And we got a Facebook page as well, facebook.com/Wyce Thoughts. I like this bumper music, Mr. Producer. It's nice. Yeah, I like it. Gives me that like AC/DC music kind of feel. So welcome back, one and all. Welcome back to the program. Welcome to Wyce Thoughts. Again, I am Terry Wyce. And I hope you're having a good New Year's. Hope the New Year's start for you has been good. I was giving you a little bit of background of what we were dealing with here over New Year's, which was, oh boy, lots of interesting things happening and going on. But hey, you live and learn, and you do what you got to do to survive. So that's what we've been doing. Anyhow, hope everything was good with you. Again, we were talking about, did you make any New Year's resolutions? Do you not believe in New Year's resolutions? And, just leave me some comments either on the Facebook page if you want to tweet at me on Twitter about it, or at the website at wycethoughts.com. You can leave your comments under this episode right there. So what are some other things, too? Have you noticed here with the new year? Gas prices seem to be going back up again. Yikes. We got a little respite. It kind of makes me wonder if that wasn't politically motivated. Let's see, the sporting leagues, we were talking about the unfortunate Buffalo Bills injury to their player there, and, again, wishing him a speedy and full recovery, because I'll tell you that's a tough thing. We're wishing him Damar Hamlin a speedy and full recovery. It looks like he's getting better every day, which is good. So we're pulling for you, Damar. Get well soon, my friend. Make a full recovery. God bless you. Speaking of sports, all the sporting leagues are gearing up. The NHL is now in the second half of its season here, winding down. The NFL is going to be heading toward the playoffs real quick as well. And things are going to be interesting. If you follow football, there's a lot of interesting paramount things going on in football. A lot of good teams this year. Miami, the Bengals, of course, the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City, kind of in the thick of it here and there. But there's a lot of good teams this year, which is nice that there's not really one dominant team to beat. So I like seeing that a lot of teams have finally, with the talent and their philosophy, have elevated themselves to taking it to another level, it makes good for the fans to view. And I'm also glad we stopped all this silly nonsense about kneeling and everything else. To me, that was just a bunch of silly nonsense. Political stuff has no place in sports. Sports are a getaway for the average person. And I felt very strongly about that when all this political stuff was seeping in. This political wokeness was seeping and sneaking its way into sports, and it angered me to no end. And you can go back and listen to past shows on that at the website at wycethoughts.com. You know my feelings on that. I don't ascribe to it. Keep your political beliefs to yourself and keep them out of sports. You want to help charities and foundations, that's fine. But keep the political shit out of sports. There's too much politics and everything, and especially in the United States nowadays. And there's way too much wokeness. Why don't we make this? How about we do this? Here's a New Year's resolution for us all. Let's make 2023 the year we stamp out wokeness in society. Let's eliminate and cure wokeness, because that's a disease that needs a cure and has to be eradicated. So let's make that pledge. That's going to be the pledge. 2023, the year we wipe out wokeness. I'm going to start saying that on every podcast throughout 2023, so to kind of keep it in your mind and in your forefront. 2023, the year we wipe out wokeness. Let's stop this crazy, psychotic disease called wokeness. Sound good? Sounds good to me. I mean, we got to get rid of it. Got to get rid of wokeness. Bye-bye, wokeness. We don't need you. We don't want you. And go to fuck away. Yeah. 2023, the year we're going to wipe out wokeness. Yeah, I like it. Sounds good. All right. So make that pledge with me, shall we? All right. So moving onward and upward, some things that we're going to look forward to doing on the podcast here in 2023 for you at Wyce Thoughts. I want to try and get some more variety into the program. A lot of you have written me, and when I say the words written, emailed, I don't think I've gotten one handwritten correspondence for any of the shows here, especially for Wyce Thoughts. You have emailed me, reached out and said, hey, can you maybe expand some things on some topics? Maybe once in a while throw up a movie review or, a restaurant if you go to or what have you. Absolutely. And I'm definitely going to do that. I want to try and get a couple guests on the show as well, so we can have some candid conversations about certain things going on in the world, because I feel it's all right for you to sit here and listen to me yap at you all the time. However, I would love to have someone either via remotely by phone or in studio to kind of bounce ideas and philosophies off back and forth and learn some things from them as well. So we're gonna aim to do that in 2023 as well. You can look for more content coming up on the YouTube channel at Wyce Thoughts. Going to be doing some stuff there as well. I'm going to just, even if I have to record it on my phone, we've got all the recording equipment and the cameras and that for that, but sometimes lugging that equipment around is a pain in the ass. So, even if I have to record it on the old iPhone here, which, hey, it's still not a bad recording device for video, we're going to do that as well. So we got that coming along for us in the new year. I'm going to make that pledge to you that we're going to do our best to do those things for you as well. Let's see. Other than that, what else? I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about here. So, we're gonna try and expand the show a little more, bring it into more of a more topics of discussion and things like that. Try and get it a little more interactive. Again, I don't mind sitting here doing this solo, but it'd be nice to have, like I said, another person to bounce ideas off of, to give you folks out there too some general points of view as well in that. So, judging by the producer slamming the music in my headphones here. Thanks for listening to the program today. I truly appreciate each and every one of you out there. And remember, to see a change in the world, you have to be the change in the world you want to see. It all starts with you, the person looking back at you in the mirror every morning. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others. If you want to tweet at me on Twitter, it's at Terry Wyce. Stop by the website, wycethoughts.com, just to make sure you spell my name right, W-Y-C-E, wycethoughts.com. And hey, leave us a positive rating and review on your favorite podcast provider, won't you? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets about Wyce Thoughts. And I look forward to gathering yet again around the virtual campfire with you real soon. Take care.